Hi everyone, it's your girl Rose Cinnamon, and welcome to another video. Today, let's get to know the life story of Olivia Hussey, one of the most distinguished faces of the century. On April 17, 1951, Olivia Osuna, also known as Olivia Hussey, was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Her father is Andres Osuna, an Argentine opera singer, and her mother, Joy Hussey, was a secretary from England. Olivia's parents divorced when she was 2 years old, and she moved to London with her mother and younger brother when she was 7 years old. After 1 year of living in London, Olivia told her mother, "I think it's time I started taking my career seriously." She was 8 years old at the time, but she knew that she wanted to be an actress. And that dream gave birth to her acting career. Olivia was raised as a Roman Catholic. Back then, she enjoyed role-playing when she was a child, saying, "I used to walk around the house with a towel on my head pretending to be a nun. One day, I just said, I don't know about being a nun. I like pretending to be a nun. Maybe if I was an actress, I could pretend to be a nun and still be me." She attended the Italia Conti Academy Drama School for 5 years to polish her acting talent, and by the time that she was 13 years old, she started acting professionally on the stage. Olivia took her mother's surname for her stage name and became known as Olivia Hussey. She played minor roles in The Battle of the Villa Fiorita and Cup Fever, both released in 1965, and she also appeared in an episode of the television series Drama 61 to 67, which was in 1964. Then she played Jenny in the stage play The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie with Vanessa Redgrave. Because of this stage play, director Franco Zeffirelli noticed her and remarked that she was the only choice mature enough with experience and natural beauty to play Juliet while still looking 14. Out of 500 actresses, the 15-year-old Olivia was chosen to portray Juliet in Zeffirelli's film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, released in 1968, where she appeared with her 17-year-old co-star Leonard Whiting, who played Romeo. Olivia and Leonard were in their teens, and their ages were close to the ages of Romeo and Juliet in the novel. This garnered the attention of teenagers, and the film was a critical and commercial success. The film won Academy Awards for Best Cinematography and Best Costume Design. Additionally, it was also nominated for Best Director and Best Picture. The two lead actors received positive reviews for their performances. Peter Bradshaw wrote about the film, saying it may look old-fashioned in places, but the Italian director's lively version of Shakespeare stuffed with beautiful actors has elegance and charm. Olivia Hussey has an otherworldly purity as Juliet. For Olivia's performance in Romeo and Juliet, she won a special David D. Donatello Award and the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year as an actress in 1969. And if you would ask me what my favorite scene from the movie was, I would say it was the balcony scene, because Olivia and Leonard just delivered their lines well, and they didn't sound cringy saying those Shakespearean lines.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Despite its success, the movie was controversial for depicting a nude scene of the lead characters, who were minors at that time. In an interview in 2018, Olivia said that she felt comfortable filming the scene. She also defended the scene in an interview with Variety, saying, "Nobody my age had done that before," she said, adding that Zeffirelli shot it tastefully. "It was needed for the film. Everyone thinks they were so young they didn't realize what they were doing, but we were very aware. We both came from drama schools, and when you work, you take your work very seriously," she said. Olivia also said that she loved playing Juliet, saying, I love playing Juliet. The only part I didn't like was all the PR. It was exhausting and I was this wild little thing. The Evening Standard reported in 1968 that the film was apparently scandalous in Italy because Romeo and Juliet were shown naked on bed. Olivia also revealed in the article that her mother was not aware of this scene. She said, "You can't write home and say I'm appearing nude in bed with Romeo." But Olivia asserted that her mother would not have had objections upon seeing the scene. Richard Goodfin also commented about Olivia's performance, saying, "She has turned out to be an excellent actress as well as being beautifully photogenic. She will be a great star." Apparently, her performance also managed to capture Laurence Olivier's attention, who praised her. Even though Olivia Hussey is pretty the way she is, the producers of Romeo and Juliet were apparently not satisfied with her appearance. She was given a bottle of diet pills from the producers and her mother discarded the pills. But Olivia became insecure that her body would be too curvy for the role. Zeffirelli's nickname for her was Boobsomina, and he called Olivia the unrequited love of his life, which is a creepy way for an adult man to describe a teenage girl. Olivia Hussey also dated Leonard Whiting, her Romeo and Juliet on-screen partner, but their romance didn't last long, and they remain friends to this day. The success of Romeo and Juliet boosted acting opportunities for Olivia, and it was her breakout role. A producer, Hal B. Wallace, offered her the lead role in Anne of the Thousand Days, and also she was offered to star in True Grit alongside John Wayne. However, that didn't work out for Olivia. She stated that she couldn't see herself with Wayne, and she claimed that Wallace withdrew his offer because of this remark. She also said, "It had taken me less than a minute to talk my way out of it." Nonetheless, she continued to appear in movies, such as All the Right Noises, followed by the crime film The Summertime Killer, and the musical Lost Horizon. Lost Horizon was unfortunately heavily panned by critics, and a publication even deemed it as one of the worst films made of all time. A year later, she would redeem her career as she played the final girl Jas Bradford in the iconic slasher film Black Christmas in 1974. Her character, Jas Bradford, is a pioneer for horror's final girl trope, and Black Christmas is considered as a forerunner in the horror slasher genre. What makes Jas Bradford iconic as a final girl is that, unlike her fellow final girls who were commonly portrayed as virgins, Jas was not a virgin. Another crucial point for her character was that she wants to undergo an abortion after getting pregnant, and this plot point relates to the passing of Roe v. Wade in 1973 and the legalization of therapeutic abortions in Canada in 1969. Abortion is a sensitive subject, but the film does not portray Jas as a villain for wanting abortion, and the real horror in the film is a deranged killer targeting sorority girls. The film's progressive representation of abortion has often been credited as a feminist take in a horror movie, and it has been hailed as a cult classic in the horror genre. Then, some of her memorable roles also included her portrayal of the Virgin Mary in the 1977 television production of Jesus of Nazareth, which was her second collaboration with Zeffirelli. And she played Mother Teresa in the biographical film Mother Teresa of Calcutta in 2003. She shared that Mother Teresa was a dream role for her. Over the years, she continued to act in films and television. She even reunited with Leonard Whiting on screen in the movie Social Suicide. Besides acting on screen, Hussey has worked as a voice actor as well, and one of her well-known voice roles was Talia al Ghul in the DC animated universe. Olivia has encountered some highs and lows in her personal life. The pressure of being a public figure led to her having agoraphobia provoked by strangers stopping her on the street. At the peak of her Romeo and Juliet fame, she met actor Christopher Jones through her agent Rudy Altobelli. He was 10 years older than her when they were together. They dated, but he was physically and emotionally abusive towards her. She shared about an incident when he punched her in the stomach. That time, she planned to move into Altobelli's home, which was rented by Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski in 1969, until the Manson murders happened. Weeks after Sharon Tate's death, she moved into the house when she was 18 years old. She had gathered the courage to break up with Christopher Jones, but something terrible happened when he visited her one night. Jones attacked her and violated her. Hussey recounted, "I didn't know if he was going to kill me. My face was like a balloon. I had a bloody nose, my lip was split open, and I had a black eye. It was terrifying." After being sexually assaulted by Jones, she became pregnant and had an abortion. She said, "I decided I could not have the baby. It broke my heart, although I have never regretted it." In spite of what happened, she did not give up on love. Several years later, she fell in love and married Dean Paul Martin on her 20th birthday. They had a son named Alex, but they divorced in 1978. Her son, Alex Martin, would later help her publish her memoir in 2018, and it was titled The Girl on the Balcony, Olivia Hussey Finds Life After Romeo and Juliet. Her next marriage with the Japanese singer Akira Fuse lasted from 1980 to 1989, and they divorced. She had a son with Akira Fuse named Maximilian Hussey Fuse. Her third and current marriage was in 1991 when she married David Glenn Isley. They have a daughter, India Isley, who is just as beautiful like Olivia, and India is following in the footsteps of her mother as she works as an actress. In 2008, Hussey was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she battled the disease with chemotherapy and radiation. Her breast cancer returned in 2018, and fortunately, she was able to survive as she shared that the tumor shrank. And remember when I mentioned that Romeo and Juliet had a controversial nude scene? Well, that issue would be brought up again. Recently, Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting made headlines when they decided to sue Paramount Pictures for sexual exploitation and child sexual abuse over the film's nude bed scene. They claim that the director, Franco Zeffirelli, told them that they must act in the nude or the picture would fail. Zeffirelli assured them that the cameras would not capture any nudity, but when the film was released, a scene briefly showed Whiting's bare buttocks and Hussey's bare breasts. The actors sought damages of more than $500 million as a result of the suffering they experienced and based on the revenue brought in by the film since its release. Hussey and Whiting's case was dismissed by a judge, but regardless of the court's ruling, it is concerning that two minors were filmed nude in a film set full of adults. It reminds me of how child stars and minors are vulnerable to sexualization in the entertainment industry, and I believe that Olivia and Leonard, who were minors at the time, should have been protected. Even though they've spoken highly of the film Romeo and Juliet in the past, I don't think it's right to undermine the pressure of being sexualized that they must have felt when filming a nude scene at that young age. Up to this day, Olivia Hussey's fame is tied to the 1968 Romeo and Juliet film. A generation of fans across decades have continued to revere her as one of the most beautiful women of all time, as her face is immortalized in social media posts and fan tributes. Deep inside, Olivia Hussey is a strong and resilient woman, and that's what makes her beauty stand out. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content.